Hi everyone, Stepan here. Today I'm going to play another training game. Once again 15 plus 15 classical. I've already played one and lost one today. In my defense I was playing really fast and I was on a bus, so played on my phone and I didn't really mean it as training, but a subscriber really wanted to play, so I accepted. And now I'm going to try to play seriously and to win the game. Once again, I'm going to try to get to 2100 in lichess classical until October 1st, so hopefully I'm going to have a good game today. And as I said, after I've played the split open, I'm taking a break from tournament chess for at least until October 1st, probably even later. And I got a higher rated opponent. I'm happy. And I have a lot of mistakes to correct, and I'm working on a new repertoire, and I'm also doing a lot of tactics. So one thing I have to do is stop playing blitz chess, which I played today for about 2 hours. In my defense, once again, I was not home. I was doing stuff around town, so I've been in trams and buses a lot, so I had time. But I think it's not good for my chess. In fact, I think it's the other way around. So I'm going to try my best not to procrastinate and play blitz chess. I usually do that when I'm either bored or I have time. So whenever I have time, I'm going to play blitz, which is not good. Okay, this I've played in Bratislava, and it ended up with an early sacrifice on e6, and I lost the game. His bishop was on c4, his knight was on g5, and he took on e6. Although I played the early c5, so I'm going to wait a bit with c5 and play bishop e7 first and castle. Yeah, we are playing the Karpov variation of the Caro-Kann, which is one of my favorites. Sorry for not mentioning that. And white is always supposed to have a slight advantage here, but this compared to the main line, the classical, after knight c3 with bishop f5, is I think better for black, because white doesn't have that much. Mate, my coach, told me that whenever somebody plays knight d7 against him, he doesn't know what to do, and that's true. White doesn't have a clear plan unless he goes for the very aggressive knight g5 early on. And there are also some tricks. Often there are sacrifices on e6 or on f7, but in order for that to work, I'm sorry, he's saying nice Petrov videos. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, in order for the sacrifices to work, white needs to have all of that prepared and his queen, bishop, and knight positioned perfectly, and black has to be careful. But if black manages to get past the first 10 moves and castle, when there are no more sacrifices on e6 or on f7, then black has this very solid Caro-Kann pawn structure, and it's hard for white to break through. That's the main thing. White can try c3, white can try c4, bishop d3, or bishop e2, or bishop c4. In any case, it's not easy to break through because of this pawn structure, and it's not really clear how white creates an attack. Black doesn't have an attack either, but black is just going to play solidly. Okay, bishop d3 is a passive move. Now I can choose between bishop d6 and bishop e7. Although after bishop d6, bishop g5 might be annoying, but not really, because I have h6. If bishop d6, knight e4, I'm going to exchange that. So I think bishop d6 should be better. The only problem is that c4, c5 comes with a tempo, but that's not really a big deal. This is a problem in queen's pawn openings, when I still have a pawn on d5, and when e4 is a threat. In the Caro-Kann, when white... and he says, Karpov variation, my favorite also, by the way. Okay. So yeah, he obviously plays the Caro-Kann and the Karpov variation, so we will see. I'll just let him know that the analysis will be online. Okay, sorry about that. So he castled. I should castle as well. Although No, I was briefly considering knight f8, knight g6, bishop d7, queen c7, castles long, but he has way too much time. That's just how you can get crushed in the Caro-Kann. Now, I mean, bishop g5 is met with h6, so the bishop needs to get back. Bishop e3 is probably the most active square, which is sad. b3, bishop b2 also isn't really that good, because eventually he's going to have to play d5 to justify that. Now I'm going to play normal Caro-Kann fashion, normal Karpov Caro-Kann fashion, b6, c5. And perhaps I can play c5 immediately, but I sort of want to prepare that. Let's just see. b6, if he goes c4, then c5, d5 does lose a pawn, so I'm not worried about that. The only question is c5 better than b6? Well, if I play c5 immediately, he could choose knight e4, knight takes, bishop takes, and then he is on the diagonal, and after knight f6 he has to move from the diagonal. I'm going to play b6 first. I think that should be more precise. This is a position I'm familiar with, and I'm really happy to be playing this, because this structure I play in both against d4 and against e4 and against c4 and against knight f3. So I'm familiar with this structure. Yeah, I was wondering if c5 immediately was better or b6. Now I think that after I gain the tempo, after bishop takes, I'm going to play bishop b7, and I'm still going to get my tempo with knight f6, so I'm not too worried about this. I got my bishop to b7. All that is left to do is to play c5, and black is going to be equal. As you may have mentioned in the Karpov Caro-Kann, white has a lead in development, obviously, because black plays e6, knight d7, knight f6, and stuff like that. I'm not sure if this is good. Okay. Knight takes. Okay, knight takes knight, pawn takes knight, bishop takes knight. He has to exchange the queens first. Yeah, and I lose the piece. I thought I had a trick with queen takes d1, stopping his rook. But now, okay, knight takes, pawn takes. If I take with the bishop, and if I take with the bishop, yeah, then he can still do this because it's check. So yeah. On the other hand, if I take with the knight and he gets his pawn to e5, what's that position like? I don't like the fact that I don't have a defender of h7. So c6 is under attack. Probably queen c7 is the best move, but then bishop f4. Am I worried about bishop f4? Queen c7, bishop f4. Can I not just play f6 and then if knight takes knight, queen takes knight? Or bishop takes bishop, give up the exchange and take on h2. I'm not sure what's better. Definitely not knight takes e5. Okay, the only other candidates are rook c8, which is a good move, but it's not defending my bishop. Queen c7, which runs into bishop f4. And then I could perhaps play f6. And then if queen h5, threatening checkmate, what do I do then? g6? Yeah, then I would be threatening both the queen and the bishop and the knight, so I'm going to play that. I don't like giving up my giving up this diagonal. That doesn't seem good. Once again, after bishop f4, I cannot take, and take, because bishop h7 check wins my queen. So if bishop f4, I probably will play f6. I don't see too much trouble with that move. Might also play c5. Anyway, I'm happy with this position. I don't think white has anything. For as long as I can stop him from expanding in the center, and it's not likely that he's going to do that, or as long as I can exchange my c5 pawn, I should be fine. If anything, I think he should be the one trading the bishops, because my bishops are better than his. Although that's based on the fact that they are looking at h2 and g2, and his bishops are looking at h7 and h6, which is less than ideal. He wants his dark squared bishop on this diagonal. He might do that still. Let me just check my cooking. I have a stew on the stove. Just a second. Sorry about that. I'm making a lentil stew, and it takes a long time to cook, but I wanted to make sure that there's enough water. Okay. f6. Knight takes knight, queen takes knight. My e6 pawn is weak, but then I can go for e5 instead of c5. f6, knight takes knight, queen takes knight. Bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop, probably. f6, knight takes knight, bishop takes bishop. Knight takes f8, bishop takes h2. No, I lose the bishop at the end. Doesn't work. f6, knight c4 loses the bishop. f6, knight d3 loses the bishop. f6, knight f3 loses the bishop. f6, knight g4 loses the bishop. Let's see about f6, bishop takes h7. f6, bishop h7, king h7, queen h4. Queen h5 check, king g8. Does that work? f6, bishop h7, king h7, queen h5, king g8, knight g6. Not threatening checkmate, so I can take the bishop. Does he have anything else? f6, bishop h7, king h7, queen h5, king g8. f6, queen h5, g6. Okay, f6, queen g4, pawn takes knight. I'm worried about bishop h7. f6, bishop takes, king takes, queen h5, king g8. Is knight g6 the only good move? I really don't see a better move. If he plays rook e3, I can take the knight. Yeah, I'm going to play f6. I don't think it's a bad move. Okay, he takes my knight, that's good. Queen takes. Now I'm going to play e5 instead of c5, which is even better, because one problem with the move c5 is that white then has a 3-2 pawn majority on the queen side, which is better than my 4-3 on the king side. Now, I don't think queen h5 is anything in particular. I am a bit worried about my bishop. His bishop is definitely better, and his king is definitely safer because of the bishop. I can never play f5, or perhaps I can play f5. f5, bishop f3, rook f6. f5, bishop d3, rook f6. And then my e6 pawn is defended. I actually like that. I'm not a big fan of weakening my my e6 pawn further on and then e5 is impossible, but this seems like a nice attacking plan because I get to put my rook on f6 with tempo. Okay, threatening h7 immediately. Now the only move for the bishop is f3. Is f5 too weakening? I'm not sure. f5, bishop f3, rook f6, and I'm going to follow that up with rook f8, rook h6, rook f6. How does he attack my e6 pawn? I already have two defenders as soon as I play rook f6. Okay. I can always play rook a to e8, but then my rook is hanging in some positions. I want to kill off his bishop. I don't like this pressure. I'm going to play f5, I think. I think then... Well, basically I think he should have put his bishop on this diagonal as soon as I have played f6. I think that's a better plan. And now that's still possible. He plays c3, bishop b3. So yeah, he can get on a very strong diagonal. f5, bishop f3, rook f6, c3. I would play c3. Although then I can play e5. No, I have to play rook d8 first. I can play c5. And then I can open up my own bishop. So I'm going to play f5. I'm not too worried about the bishop getting around here, because I have the potential to open up my own bishop then. Okay, I'm going to go for an attack. I don't want to play passively anymore. My bishop is one bad piece, but I can always play a5, bishop a6. I'm not sure who is better here. I would say that he is better long term because I have a weakness on e6. But if the pieces get traded off, then probably I should be slightly better. Okay. Well, a defense to e6 is rook h6, but then he can just play g3. Yeah, I think rook d8 followed by c5 is my plan. If he plays rook a to e1, I'm going to play c5. And then if he triples with queen e3 or queen e2, I can always play king f7. And I'm not sure there are any big problems with that. I have another free defender, that's my king. So since it's all revolving around my e6 weakness, then I'm virtually a piece up in this position because his king is on g1. So that's one good thing. On the other hand, he doesn't have a single weakness, so I would rather be white. But I played this for the attacking prospects. We will see if there are any. c5 is definitely a good move. Well, not yet. First I have to defend my bishop. Yeah, that rook e1 c5 loses the bishop. I don't know how I defend my bishop though. Rook d7. Probably rook d7. I don't like bishop c8. That seems too bad. c5, bishop takes bishop. Doesn't work. If he plays c3, then he still doesn't lose a rook, because my f6 rook is hanging. He loses... No, he doesn't even lose a pawn. Yeah, he loses a pawn. Okay. So if he plays c3, queen e5, pawn e5, rook takes d3, pawn takes... Yeah, no, he loses the rook because he has to take one of my rooks and then... Yeah, no, he loses a pawn. Okay. Okay. How do I activate my bishop? Maybe I should get my bishop to f7 or to g6, because then his bishop will be staring at nothing. And then I will have ideas like f4 and putting my bishop on f5. I actually like that. So bishop c8, it's a long way to go, but bishop c8, bishop d7, bishop e8, and then I have these three squares. And what does he do in the meantime? c4 is not a threat. b3 or b4, b4 loses a pawn. Yeah, I don't think there's much he can do about that. g4 is not good, I don't think. He cannot triple up on e6 when my bishop is on c8. This is a nice position. It's complicated. I like it, and I'm wondering if I can spend 4 moves to get my bishop to g6. I probably can, so I'm going to do it, because now I also have the option of c5. Let's see, c5, pawn takes, queen takes queen, c5, rook takes, yeah, pawn takes, cannot play that. So c5, pawn takes queen, rook takes queen. Yeah, I'm an idiot. c5, pawn takes, I take the rook. He takes my rook then, and I play rook f8. A tempo on the queen, and then the queen cannot take anything, it has to move, and it probably moves to d4 to stop me from taking on d2. And then once I exchange, or he can just take on b6, so that's not good. c5, pawn takes, I cannot take the rook. I have to take the queen, and then rook takes, and then rook takes, pawn takes, c5, rook takes c5, I lose a pawn, so c5 is not possible. Okay, just puts pressure on c6. Is c5 possible now? c5 now should be good. This may in fact be a blunder. c5, if he takes with the pawn. Oh yeah, he can take with the pawn, because the queen is defending e5. Yeah. And I only get the queen and the rook and bishop for the queen. So c5 not possible. Bishop d7 continue with my plan. That makes sense. Let's not waste any more time on c5. c5 pawn takes. Doesn't work. Bishop d7. He can then try. No, he cannot try. Queen a3. My queen is defending a3. Bishop d7. Bishop d7. Bishop d7. What then? Yeah, I'm going to play bishop d7. Just continue with my plan. I don't see a problem with that. I want my bishop on e8 so that I can put it on f7 or to g6. Now, when I do get c5 in, his bishop has no targets. If he transfers to the other side of the board, my bishop is on the other side of the board. d5 is not an option. e6 is defended 3 times. I don't understand queen e1, I have to be honest, so I'm just going to continue with my own plan. Can he triple attack e6? No, he cannot. So bishop e8. c3, I'm not a big fan of that move. Let's continue with my plan. Now my bishop is as good as his, finally, after 4 moves. And I did manage to play bishop c8, bishop d7, bishop e8, bishop g6. Yeah, it's a slow position, so there's not much he could have done in the meantime. Now the thing is, if I play bishop c2 and he plays rook to d2, then I don't want to get my bishop around. Well, I could retreat my bishop to g6 and then play c5 because his rook is hanging. Although I don't see what I do in this position. I don't have a way to play c5. He can play b4. I probably should play b4. Okay, he plays a4. So now I have to play a5. I was going to play a5 anyway. b6 is not a weakness really, all of his pawns are on dark squares. And I don't want to go for b5 because then he would have a potential to create a passed pawn in the center. And I have a feeling that would weaken e6 even further. But I might play rook b8 and then play b5 to try to create a passed pawn myself. Because his rook doesn't really have b1. I always have f5. Sort of like my position now. I wouldn't say I'm better, it's equal at best, but I like my position. So do I want to trade the pieces off now? Can I trade off the pieces off now with c5? No, still not. Does he want to play bishop h5? I'm not sure. He probably wants to triple up on e6. That makes sense. Do I want to play f5, f4 and bishop f5? f4 And when I do get my bishop to f5, it's nothing major. I don't know. Maybe I should just play bishop f7, g5. It's sort of like that as well. I like gaining space. If I play bishop f7, rook e1 doesn't make any sense, it's defended. If he plays queen back to d2 or queen to e3, stopping g5, I might play h6. Yeah, in fact, why not? I want to attack him. I don't see a way for him to make progress. I don't see a way for me to make progress. He has this small threat of queen a6, but I think I can just meet that with rook b8. So bishop f7 followed by g5. I like that plan. And I'm going to play it. Because g5 isn't that easy to meet, really. You need to retreat your bishop back, and then I'm going to play h5 after g4. So, okay, triple up. Now he's going to have to move his queen, probably to e3. g5, queen e3 threatening to take on g5. So should I play h6 first? Can I now finally play c5? Maybe h6. Everything is defended. Okay. Everything is defended. h6 threatens g5. Because the problem was, when I play g5, queen e3, I cannot play f4 because rook takes g5. Now rook takes g5 is not an option. Okay, queen a6, rook b8. That was my plan. And I'm just going to play it quickly. He does have a bishop sacrifice, bishop c6, queen c6, and then rook a5. He gets 2 pawns and a huge queenside pawn majority. But I think I should be fine there. I don't believe in that sacrifice. Yeah, just threatening again. So rook c8. I mean, I have to defend. I cannot play c5. It's tough to make progress. Perhaps I shouldn't even be considering g5. Maybe it's too weakening. Although, if I manage to get my king to g7, get my rook to h8, I don't think I want to draw, but how do I defend? Is there any other way to defend my c6 pawn? If he plays queen c4, okay, this I actually like, because now g5 is stronger. Comes with an extra threat of g4. Okay, g5. This is a very committal move. What if he plays g4 after g5? g5, g4. I probably have to play f4, and then he is quicker to get his bishop to the diagonal because he has bishop e4. Is Is there any other move I can play that makes any sense? I don't think so. I'm going to play it. I'm going to try to put pressure on him. We are both... He has 5 minutes, I have 4. So we don't have that much time. And if I manage to put him under pressure, he might crack. So if g4, I might even take to open up the f-file for my rook. And my rook then has the f4 square, which seems nice. And then my bishop still has g6. I'm going to play king g7. h3 is creating a target, making g5 stronger, because now g4, he can't just move his bishop. Okay. Attacking c6 again, I have to defend. Although I didn't have to defend, because if... Oh yeah, he can take with the queen. Okay, never mind. Because if he takes with the bishop, I have rook c8, but he's going to take with the queen. And I lose a pawn. Equal time now. That's good. His rating is 200 points higher than mine, so I'm happy to be playing somebody higher rated. Sorry for those of you who have been challenging me. I'm trying to play these training games one per day and against higher rated opponents. So if there's anybody higher rated than me on lichess or FIDE rated, please let me know, send me a message. Otherwise, I don't have time to play games against low rated opponents because I want to push myself. I'm sorry about that. I'm not trying to be egocentric or something. I just want the toughest training possible. Okay, g3. Okay, king g7 makes sense. King g7 has to be a good move. If he is now trying to play h4, what do I do against that? I don't want to close the position up, then my bishop would be dead. I can play f4 immediately and open up the f-file. If he closes it down, then bishop g6. But then he has three attackers here. So f4 or king g7. If I play king g7 and he plays h4, but if I play f4 and he pushes, I need to leave my bishop there, and then he has bishop e4, which is not good. Okay, I'm going to play f4. Despite bishop e4, I don't think he has that many threats. I can defend everything with rook h8, even if he manages to play like bishop c1 and turn his pieces around. Okay, king g7 now makes sense. Defending my pawn for the third time makes sense as well. I'm still going to play king g7. I'm not sure. I have to play rook b8. Yeah, there's no attack with this g5 f4 idea, but okay, what's this? Why did he do that? That's a tricky move. So I cannot move my bishop, because if I move my bishop, well, it's pinned, but even if I could move it... Okay, should I just get my king back? That seems like a defeat. Maybe I should play b5 now. I should play b5. b5, queen a5. That's one issue. My rook is horrible on f6. I need to get it out. And I'm getting low on time. c5 is one option, but not a good option, because I lose a pawn. b5, queen a5, pawn a4, queen a4, rook takes b2. That seems nice. That's counterplay. I mean, if I want counterplay, b5 is counterplay. b5, queen a5, pawn a4. What if he just defends his a pawn, his b pawn? Yeah, I don't like this pin. I'm going to unpin my bishop. His queen is now sort of stuck. So king g8, bishop. Yeah, I still cannot move my bishop because my rook is hanging. Ah. Can I just play queen d8? Just let him move. Yeah, I lose c6. Oh, I have to speed up. I didn't know what to do. I want to play bishop g8 and then rook f7. Yeah, I'm low on time now. I spent a lot of time on this. So let's continue with my plan. Can he take on e6? No, because then I can take the rook. No, I cannot because my... Yeah, I can because rook f7, rook e6, queen e6, queen b8. I can take on e2. No, I cannot. Oh. Okay, let's test that theory. Even if I'm a pawn down, I want to have a more active position. This is too passive. Yeah, he does take. think I have to take here. I'm not sure queen takes rook is any good. And now I probably have to play b5. Yeah, good game to him. I messed up. Yeah, this is just lost, unfortunately. Two pawns down and a horrible king, and I cannot defend. Yeah, I cannot defend g5. Can I not get checkmated at least? Let's try that. Yeah. Now I have a passed pawn on a4, so it's not that bad. I don't think he should have allowed me to take on b2, because I'm now 3 squares away from queening, and I control the diagonal. Oh yeah, but he takes my bishop. Okay. And now he takes my rook, but he didn't see that, fortunately for me. How do I escape from here? Is there a way out from this hell? I don't know, this is just a piece trade. So probably need to get my king up, but that's suicidal. I don't know. What's going on now? Am I offline? No! Oh, my internet is gone. Wait, I need to connect to my phone. What, did I make a move? What happened? What did just happen? Wait. Rook c8 check. King e7, rook takes. I played... Wait. He played bishop c6. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I got confused there. What do I do here? Can I survive this? I thought I had to make a move and I've already made a move. That's stupid. So whatever I do, he wins my rook. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm just going to resign. I lose my rook. Good game. Yeah. This, at the end, when I missed that I've already made a move, was a bit embarrassing. Apart from that, I messed up a fairly solid position in which he couldn't make any progress. I'm not sure where I messed up. Let's have a look at the game. Okay, I'm going to look at it with an engine immediately. This is all fine, this is all opening theory. The engine is a bit confused here. That's always like that in the Karpov Caro-Kann. Okay, equal. Queen c7 is correct. Bishop f4. No, f6 is a mistake. Yeah. Takes. And now takes. Now white should be slightly better. f5 is correct. Bishop f3. Rook f6 is a mistake, and now already white is much better. Plus 1.5. Bishop c8 is correct. Bishop d7 is correct. That's unbelievable. Okay, and now bishop g6, and white has an advantage. Plus 2. Why is that so? Okay, the engine wants to play b4 immediately. That makes sense. He played queen e2, and bishop f7 is correct. That's like... okay. Rook e1, and g5 is correct. How is g5 correct? I played h6 first. I figured that after g5... after g5 he can play queen e3. Ah yeah, I play h6 then. Okay. And h6 is a blunder. How is that a blunder? What's the difference? After queen c4, can I not just play g5 again? Okay, h6, queen a6, rook b8, queen c4, and now c5. How can I play c5 here? I'm not giving up a pawn because b2 is hanging. Ugh. Stupid me. Okay, rook c8, queen a6, rook b8, h3. g5 now is a blunder. Queen c4, rook c8, g3. Okay, c5 is correct, f4 is better. And after g4, I should still play c5. Wow, he was so much better the whole game. Okay, king g7 is okay. I still don't see why he has such a huge advantage. Let's see what happens after this b4 idea. I have to take. He takes. Yeah, now I don't have c5. Why do I play rook a8? I would never play rook a8, just bishop c6. Oh no, queen c6. I have to trade. Yeah, I still lose a pawn. Okay, but queen a6 and rook b8 now is a blunder because he has queen a7. And now king h8. This is all just pretty bad. Yeah. Rook e6, I was sort of counting on queen takes e6, but that doesn't work. Because he takes here. And I thought that after I take on e2, his queen is attacked, but it's not. Okay, no need to look at this anymore. Yeah, not a very good game. What went wrong? f6 went wrong, I think. Wait, where are we? Okay, queen c7, bishop f4, f6 was my mistake. I should have just ignored that after queen c7 and chased the bishop away. That would have been way more solid. Say bishop f3, and now just rook d8, and I'm going to play c5. Yeah, this is much better. I don't know why I thought I should play f6. Yeah, this makes way more sense. Okay, yeah, a defeat, but still, it's against a high-rated opponent, so what can you do? He played very well. Congratulations to my opponent, and yeah, thanks very much for watching. Let me know what you think about the game. Let me know what you would have played when I played f6. And by the way, vote for the daily move in the community tab. We are almost in the middle game. I think we are in the middle game officially. And it's getting really intense. I calculated the move for an hour today again, and I'm not sure I'm happy with my move. I saw a better option after I played that, but it was too late. Okay, thanks very much. Stay tuned for more chess. Bye-bye.